everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you decided to join me today because today's not just any kind of video that I do per week. Today is a special contest video that I'm submitting for a company called reviews.org, and they're seeking the biggest Disney fan. You heard that right. They're seeking the biggest Disney fan, and while I might not make the most extravagant videos in the world, I wanted to express to reviews.org how I'm the biggest Disney fan by telling them about my favorite Disney movie. Now, that was their prompt, I will say. I did not come up with that myself, but I'm going to give it my best shot at telling them why this is my favorite Disney movie. If you were not aware of my favorite Disney movie, you will now know the great reasons as to why this movie is my favorite Disney movie, especially at this current time, because it does change sometimes from day to day, as there are so many great Disney movies out there. There might be other soundtracks that I listen to on a daily basis as well, and there might be other Disney movies that I definitely have watched way more times in my lifetime than I care to admit, just like this movie I'm about to discuss with you guys. But Disney is my favorite, and I am a huge Disney fan, as I grew up on that. And when you're a kid and you don't have cable and all you got is a VHS player, and if you don't know what that is, you might be a little young, and if so, hey, you need to go look that up. Ask your parents about it. VHS player, yeah, I used to put some tapes in there, and guess what? All day long would watch Disney movies on repeat. Rewinder was in clutch. With that being said, let's get started. My favorite Disney movie of all time is Aladdin. That's because Aladdin is definitely the best Disney movie that was ever made. And let me tell you why in this short little video. This movie not only shows us that Aladdin's not only merely a street rat, come on, we know that. Aladdin is a kind-hearted guy who's just seeking to live life. Literally. This movie shows what it's like to be living on the streets and people not understanding what it's like to be that way. While we take it for granted every day that we have food to eat and shelter to live under, Aladdin shows us what it's really like to live on the streets in a cartoon version, of course, because it is for children. But he steals food and he lives under his little dominion thing with Abu, and he shows us that when people don't understand what it's like to not have food and to what it's like to not have parents to be able to grow up with, that they really are harsh and they really are cruel in this world, and that we need to see what it's like to live in poverty. So Aladdin teaches us that poverty is real, and that even in a cartoon we see this, and that maybe this is a problem, maybe we should do something about it. So all I'm trying to say is that Aladdin really does teach us about human life as a cartoon, and as it does have to dumb it down a little bit about homelessness and stuff. Aladdin is a homeless guy, and he's just trying to make it through daily life, and people won't let that happen. They call him a street rat. They try to chop off his hand for stealing, but why not just give him that little piece of bread? Because honestly, it's probably gonna mold over in a day anyway, right? So it does show hunger issues. You know, there are hunger issues out there, and even though Aladdin is hungry, he shows his kindness by giving some of that bread that he took to children that also have nothing. Gotta eat to live, gotta steal to eat. Tell you all about it when I got the time. He's right, you gotta eat to live, and if you gotta steal to eat, hey, I mean, I don't know why we're not more understanding of that. We are people, right? Not to mention, on a lighter note, that Aladdin is, God, one of the best movie soundtracks ever. Not to get on more of a lighter note, of course, Aladdin's got one of the best movie soundtracks ever. And let's just not even talk about just the animated version, the live action too. What a great correlation. They both have great soundtracks. Will Smith did a great job. Robin Williams did an amazing job. But guess what? They're both great actors, and they both did a great job as the genie, which is another great point about Aladdin, is the genie. The genie's not only a power friend instructor, but he also demonstrates the dream of what people always want. They say, oh, I wish I could get a genie with 3 wishes. I'd wish for more wishes. But we see, obviously, you can't do that, and that's just the way it works when you rub the lamp. But yes, Robin Williams, that's a big factor too of the animated version. They picked him to be the voice actor, and Robin Williams, may he rest in peace, he is one of the best actors to ever live, and he got to voice act in this. And that leads into another great point of Aladdin, which is that voice acting, oh my gosh, they version picked the best voice actors they could have chosen. Jasmine, a beautiful voice. Aladdin, nice voice as well. He's Steve off of Full House if you didn't know that. As well, that Robin Williams, we're gonna go back to him because he's amazing. And also Jafar. Jafar definitely has one of the most maniacal, I think that's what I'm going for. He's got one of the most evil voices you hear in all of Disney. Next to Scar, of course, and The Lion King, but that's a different topic. The animation is beautiful. There's tons of colors, not to mention the blue that the genie is. That blue is so pretty. But I feel like it's just a color of herbal essence, you know, the coconut scented shampoo, but still I think that's a beautiful blue. So I mean, hey, that's all well, right? And yes, I'm gonna go back to the genie one more time just to say, oh my gosh, the genie is the best. He is literally the best friend. He is the best sidekick in a way. I mean, he's not the main character because he's not Aladdin, but he's still one of the best characters in the whole thing of Aladdin. Will Smith and Robin Williams, they do an amazing job in both the animated version and the live action. The genie is incredible. He's a great friend. He steps in, he shows up. And I think that's a great lesson for people everywhere, children everywhere, is that when you're a friend, you gotta step up. You ain't never got a friend like me because he actually does things for you. And I think another thing that is a good lesson that we're getting onto is betrayal. Come on, this teaches children that you cannot betray your friends. This shows that Aladdin, while he was a good guy, he was a caring guy, that he cared more about his love for Jasmine and keeping up with a lie than he did for setting his friend Genie free. So this teaches kids that betrayal is not okay. Like, you don't betray your friends for somebody that you may love, or you may do this. Like, you have to stick to your word. You gotta do what's truthful. You gotta be honorable. And Aladdin, well, he wasn't honorable for that little portion of the movie, but by the end he comes back around and he's like, Genie, I want to set you free as the third wish because, hey, Allah isn't going to stop me from being a true friend. So yes, it took him a minute, but in the end he comes back around and he's a swell guy. And another thing about the soundtracks, one jump ahead, one of the best songs in animated Disney history, definitely the best song in the animated Aladdin. And if you want to talk about the live action, the best song is definitely Prince Ali. That is an incredible song, and Will Smith, you did a great job. So good job, buddy. Give you kudos there. I literally jam out to those every day at work, but you know, who's talking? Before I hop off this video, I just want to give some honorable mentions as to other great reasons on top of the many as to why Aladdin is the greatest Disney movie there is. And as I said, these are just honorable mentions. There are plenty more after this, but I gotta stop this. Reviews.org, they're gonna just stop watching, and yeah, they're probably just gonna stop watching, but we gotta get this out anyway. So some honorable mentions are animation. We're gonna go back to that one time. Amazing, amazing, amazing. 2, we got the live action and the animation similarities. Have you heard those songs? They're so similar in sounding, but they're so different in years. So that is incredible to do. Of course, number 3, I just gotta say, is definitely the best narration opening of all time. You got the narrator starting off with Arabian Nights in the animated version, and you know, Will, of course, he takes it over in the live action, but in the animated version, I think that is the craziest opening because it's like, you gotta see it, and you gotta feel it, and he's opening it, and it's kind of like it's a third party, but it's not. And he also makes the greatest point of all of them. So above anything in this movie shows us that it's not about what's on the outside, it's about what's on the inside. That somebody that is true and honorable gets to enter the cave, and not somebody who's powerful and gross. So Jafar couldn't enter that cave. You know why? Because just because you're powerful and just because you think you're cool doesn't mean you get all the perks. But Aladdin shows up and he's all honorable and true, and he's always lived a decent life. Yeah, he's taken some food, but you know, that's not so bad in the grand scheme of things, because taking food to live, you gotta live somehow, like he says. And I'm going back to my favorite line of the whole movie, or one of my favorite lines. Yeah, there's a lot of favorite lines, but one of my favorite lines of the movie, like I said before, gotta eat to live, gotta still to eat. And you know what? If somebody wants some pasta, you come on over, I will fix you some pasta and you will eat. I mean, you gotta be fair. You gotta give people a little bit, because sometimes people struggle, and some people, you know, they just need a little bit of help. So we gotta help each other out. That's right. And you know what? I could go on and on and on and on and on about more reasons why Aladdin is the greatest movie. I think I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get carried away, and this is gonna be an hour-long video that nobody's gonna watch all the way through because it's gonna be an hour long. So let's go ahead and call this a day. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Thank you for listening to why I think Aladdin is the greatest Disney movie there's ever been. I love the live action. I love the animated version, of course. I think they did a great job. And yeah, kudos to Will Smith for taking on a great role as the genie. And also, like I said before, rest in peace to Robin Williams, because he was phenomenal. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So I'll see you guys next time on another video. Thanks so much for watching this channel, and thank you so much, reviews.org, for getting showcased to one of the greatest film industries there are. Disney, of course. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!